There we go. Okay. Anyway, now
Just
you all hear it.
just
So
let us know how you would like to proceed in the dates and the times.
I don't
So
know. Like I'm pretty, yeah, like I think we'll talk about that Wednesday. For those of you that might not have caught this, so this will be our last class will be next week, Wednesday. So Monday is a holiday here in Canada. I think it's a long weekend that comes. So Monday things closed. So there'll be no class on Monday here. And then I figure Wednesday we should do at least one more where I kind of give you some ideas that I want you to work with for the month of August. Okay. Um, uh, so it can be a training. I'm just not sure. I'll do what I can to organize as best as I can, but we'll keep it for one more. Okay, now for the Monday's topic, any questions about Monday's class at all? Did any of you, I'm not sure, Pierre, you weren't there. Did you watch it at all by chance? Okay, good. So you saw it. So at least you saw it. So let me, if you don't have any questions, let me just kind of clarify or give you a little bit a perspective that maybe didn't come across, or maybe it did. I'm not sure. So a person is motivated two ways, from the inside or from the outside. So if somebody says something to me, sometimes I think about it and it just pisses me off. Like, you know, a guy says something bad to you and you can feel your blood pressure and anger rising from the inside out, right? Other times you see something and that motivates you. So maybe I'm fine inside, but then I see somebody hitting somebody that I don't think is right, or assaulting somebody, and then that motivates me. So you can be motivated by two ways: by what's inside and also what you see outside, the outside world. Okay, does that make sense, guys? And the same way you can study martial arts. You can study it as a defensive thing, which is protecting yourself. And then you can study as an offensive things where you protect other people, or I guess fight, more the offensive version, right? Um, and then, so those are, it's much like pulling and pushing. So I can work out only pulling muscles. I can just focus on pulling, and I can just focus on pushing. Those are the two ways our muscles are set up. They're set up to push or pull, right? All the muscles in the body, and then the joints are a little bit different. So when you look at either of those, they're good, but what's really powerful is when they work together. So the push pull. So you know that you've seen those drills where you're pushing and pulling, hence the, you know, the old punches they used to show us, right? In karate and stuff. If you can master the push pull, you really get maximum effect. Okay, if you get maximum effect on that. So when you study how to motivate yourself inside and you study to motivate outside, like, then you really have a maximum effect, right? I don't know how many of you have played sports, but there's an old saying in sports: the best defense is a good offense. Everybody understands that, right? So if I'm offensive minded in soccer, that means I'm trying to score a goal, I'm trying to win the game. And by doing that, I force my opponent to be on defense, because they have no choice. You can't both be on offense. Somebody's got to be in defense, right? Only one person can have the ball at the time, right? And I've also seen this play out in situations. So the more offensive you are, the more defensive you're, and that's a real advantage. Now, um, so it's, I don't want to lose my train of thought, but when you, if I know I'm going to punch you and you don't know yet, you're still wondering, who do you think has the advantage? I do, because I already know what I'm going to do. You're still guessing. Does that make sense? So that means you're slow. That's just the way it works. You're going to be slower, right? If there were two sprinters and one knew when the sound of the gun was going to go off and one didn't, the guy that knows will have a little bit of a start. He will, just because he can already understands when to go. So these are powerful things to kind of understand, is that you want to be more offensive minded, because it will calm you down, because you don't have to guess, is it right, is it wrong, am I going to do this, am I going to, you're not in limbo of what you're going to do. The bad part with offense is that it's usually associated with aggression, and it's usually associated with desire, those kind of things. So the trick is to become offense minded without those byproducts. That's all. So you just want to remove those byproducts. So being offense minded and solving your problem and taking on a bully or taking on a situation head on, it's not bad. It's you being aggressive and having ego and all that stuff that's kind of can come bad from it, right? So have you ever seen a real strong guy that doesn't use his muscle? He's even stronger, right? It's the same with somebody that has a lot of money. There's a lot of people have a lot of money, but they don't use it. They don't even care. That's a great thing. The problem with having a lot of money is comes with ego and all the other stuff that comes with it, right? So we need to see those kind of things in those regards. Okay, so in many cases we just study, I think, martial arts too much from a defensive aspect, and we should study it more from an external or an offensive version. Okay, does that make a little bit more clear sense? Okay, and you need to, that concept has to be ingrained into everything you do. So even your breath, which is what we did on Monday. I said I want you to imagine not your lungs, which usually I have you guys visualizing lungs, like air coming into your chest and into your stomach and filling up your, this is the internal version, right? But the external version you can see in the cold, right? You can see that effect, and also visualizing, projecting your breath externally and drawing externally, right? That's also another way of doing it. And then in your movement and all the other stuff that you're going to do is that you just study to be more forward and offense minded. Okay. Yeah, we could go on and on and on, but I don't want to chit chat too much about this. Any questions? Any questions? Does that make sense? It's good. So try apply this even in your like personal lives. Like ask yourself, um, you know, offense would be your opinion or your suggestion, like those kind of things, right? These are really powerful things, right? We get really busy at criticizing, right, but the person that provides solutions, that's a real special person, right? We want solutions. We don't want criticisms and those kind of things. They're more, or judgments, they're bad. Solutions and ideas are welcomed, and criticisms and those things not so much, right? They're not really as welcomed. So let's get started with breathing, but this time you're going to do it from a little bit of a different way. So you're going to lie down, and we started last time from standing, which was a little bit different. So just watch me. You guys can see me. I think I tried to pick an angle where you guys can see me. I know the light's a little bright, but anyway, so I'm on my thing and I'm looking up right now. And what I'm going to do is I have the ceiling in front of me here. So I'm going to be breathing in, but I'm looking at the ceiling and I'm drawing in air from there. So it's coming in. And then when I breathe out, I'm trying to send it to the ceiling, which is about 8 feet above me. Okay. Now you can do the same thing. I'm sure you have a ceiling where you are. So it's like you're breathing and the air is bouncing from here, but you don't think about it in your chest. You just think about it going to the ceiling and back. Okay. Try that a little bit. Just lie down and try that a little bit. Awesome, guys. Good. Now roll over onto your stomach. Okay, roll over onto your stomach and put your hands like in a push-up, but you're not going to do a push-up. You're just going to hold your face about an inch from the ground. So you're like your nose is maybe an inch or two from the ground. And what I want you to do is you're going to breathe in now, but the focus is on bringing air from the side. So I'm not drawing air in because the floor is right there. So now I'm going to be trying to draw air from the sides here. So as I breathe in, it's like I visualize it coming here, and then as I breathe out, it goes here. So it is a visual thing. It is a visualization thing, but try it. One more time on your back. Again, now you're breathing long, or you're going long. One more time to the front, an inch off the ground. Awesome. Okay, come close. How was it? Could you feel the pull push of what you were trying to do? So when your face was this close to the floor, if you breathe sharply, you can feel it, right? I have to breathe gently. I have to pull gently in from the side, and I have to push out through my mouth gently this way. Okay. And then from far, like the ceiling, I had to push like forcefully, and I had to pull forcefully. Okay. But from a distance, from outside myself, my lungs were doing what they always do, but I wasn't focusing on this. I was really focusing on the distance. Okay. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, guys. And you can do this anytime. Now, that breathing, the close breathing, is the when you would use for wrestling. Okay, like the person's you're close to somebody, and you can't take. I've seen people where somebody's choking them, and they're trying to take a forceful in and out, but you can't, and that becomes the problem, right? You have to realize when you're close. Like, any of you have claustrophobia? Yeah, well, it depends. I mean, we all have a little bit, but watch for a claustrophobic. If you explain, or when you feel claustrophobia, instead of breathing long, you try to breathe short, like this way, left and right. You have less claustrophobia, because what's claustrophobic is you feel like you can't breathe long. That's why you're panicking. You feel like you can't breathe long. So people that are good with claustrophobia are just good with their breath going this way, like, but not that way. That's why they get all panicky, because they feel like, because I can't breathe long, that means I'm choking, or they feel like they're going to suffocate. But you have plenty of air. There's no doubt you have plenty of air, right? So it's the condition. Okay. Yes. Some question.
This kind of close breathing I use when I'm practicing jiu-jitsu a lot.
Yes. Yes.
Bowling,
Yes. You
wrestling.
can't project long. Yeah, you can't project long, for sure. I usually this kind of close breathing too is when you parents will use it when they get upset with their kids and other parents are watching. It's like this way. You see coming in this way. It's like, otherwise you have fire coming this way. No, I'm serious. I don't know, because I find this breathing much calmer. I find when I'm like this, it's like I breathe much softer, right? When I'm, it kind of wakes me up a little bit, and this breathing calms me down a little bit. This kind of breathe left. Just interesting to think about it in this perspective. Okay. Now you have to do the same thing with some like exercises, right? So I'll show you first, and then you can try it. I'm going to be in a push-up, and most of you try to think about pushing yourself up. But the shift is, I want you to put your hands here, and I want you to imagine you're pushing the floor down. And I know it's going to sound weird, but don't lifting yourself up. It becomes like a physical thing. Okay, like I can feel like I'm pushing myself up. The moment I push the floor down, it changes how I see it. I'm grabbing the floor and I'm pushing. I know it's not going down, but I'm coming up because I'm visualizing it going down. So I'm not doing the push-ups to make my muscles happy. I'm doing a push-up in that way. So it's external. So it looks a little something like this. Here, I'm grabbing the floor, right? I'm relaxing my body, and I'm thinking of pushing down. And then I'm thinking of pulling down too. And this is interesting. I think of pulling the floor up, and I'm thinking of pushing the floor down. So I'm here, it's like I'm pushing the floor down, and now here I'm pulling the floor up. So it's like I'm pulling the floor up. Let me work you through it. Okay, everybody put your hands on your push-up. Put your hands in the push-up, okay? So visualize now. You're so strong, you just focus on pushing the floor down, and your body should pop up. Okay, now at the top, grab like the floor with your hands, like with your fingers, and pull the floor up. That's it. Then rest, repeat again. Push the floor down and move yourself up. Pull the floor up, move yourself down. Yeah, don't do a lot, guys. Do 1, 2, and grab the visual again. Good. It's not like you need to change this push-up now is not internal, it's an external thing. You visualize pushing the floor down, and then you visualize pulling the floor up. Watch me, guys. Watch. Just watch. Yeah, for the example. See, look. I visualize pulling the floor up, pulling the floor up, pulling the floor up. Like even though I'm here, I'm visualizing pulling up. So I'm going down because I'm pulling up, and now I'm pushing down, and my body's popping up. Okay, try it. Visualize like you're pulling something, like you're pulling the floor up to you. That's it. Now, to get the feeling, lie on your back now. Lie on your back. Put your hands in front of you, right? On your back, okay? So it's a reverse. Now, pull the floor to your chest. Pull the floor to your chest. Push the floor away from your chest. Yeah. So pull the floor down to your chest. Push the floor up. That's it. That's the feeling you want when you're the other way. You're pulling something towards you, you're pushing it away from you. So if you lose the feeling, go back here. Now flip over, and try it again. Push the floor away, pull the floor up. That's it, that's it. Pull, push the floor up. Pull the floor in, push the floor away. Pull, push, pull, push, pull, pull. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Not easy, but do you say you felt it like 10%? Would you feel like you possibly felt that 10%? If you felt it like 10% or even small amount, it's good. Because you're now seeing a push-up as something more than just like muscles, I guess, right? It's like anytime you see something, anytime a person can see food as nutrition as compared to just stuffing your belly, it's a big difference. Anytime you can see something in a different way, it's good, right? The other one I'll give you, same idea but a little bit different, is I'm here and I'm gonna with my exhale blow myself up. So it's like, so it's like a rocket ship. I blew myself up, so I'm thinking of the air, and then I breathe in and I pull myself down. So it's really my inhale, so I'm focusing on a very strong inhale and exhale to propel me up and pull me down. Okay, try it. Even if you just do 2, like up and down, that's good. And then do it a few times, but don't rush. Single time. Okay, go. So blow yourself up, and then inhale, and just focus on that. Don't think of your muscles. Yep. Yeah, Jake. Okay, guys, come around for a sec. Yeah, Jake.
Danny, remember years ago when I first started working, they used to say the positive and the negative.
Yes.
Like, so when you're breathing in on the way down and letting go on the way up, right? So that's
Yeah.
kind of the same thing.
I anything that makes you not think of your body, because anything that makes you think of something else outside yourself. So I'll give you an example. I've been cycling for a while, and every cyclist that has been cycling will tell you the hardest part of cycling is the hills. So when you go up a hill, it's the hardest part, right? No matter what. And the same for running. Anything that is in the hills is the toughest. So I was at a kind of like a cycling thing with a good cyclist, and he was answering questions to everybody. And the guy said, of course, how do you handle the hills? What's the best way to deal with the hills? And he goes, look up. And he goes, because when you're on your bike, everybody's looking down, right? And he goes, the only thing you're looking at is yourself suffering. He goes, when you look up, you look at the scenery, and the mountains are some of the most beautiful scenery in cycling. It's in the mountains. So don't focus on your suffering, is what he's saying. He goes, focus on how beautiful everything is. And it was very interesting, and it's true. And sure enough, the next time I came up to a hill, I looked up, and it was much better. And it was because in many cases, the solutions to a lot of your problems are on a external thing, right? So very important for you to kind of see them outside yourself, and that's one of the ways to do it. So you're now trying to practice that. You're trying to say, can I see outside in a push-up, or do I only know like shoulders and chest pumping away? Do I know how to kind of do a push-up outside myself, right? Do I know how to do that, or do I only know this way? Does that make sense, guys? I hope it rings true. It's a really tough concept. It's one that's a stretch. But if you keep focused on it, it'll start to come alive. It's like a seed you're planting. It'll start to really grow, and you'll realize that the best way to do anything is not outside or inside, but kind of combination of both, right? There are times where I feel the fire burning inside me, and I can work, but then that starts to burn off because it's one of those fuel sources, right? Like, how many times can I play the Rocky 3 theme when I run? I mean, if I'm going for a 2-hour run, the song's over in 3 minutes, right? I can't keep playing it over and over and over. It gets boring, right? So internal energy like that has a limited source, right? So we need to be motivated by other things outside of ourselves. Make sense? Okay, so let's try this now. So everybody sit on your bum for a second, okay? Now do you all know the body raises, right? So I'm gonna do back and forward, right? And I can feel my stomach working, right? Do like 5 for me, right? I'm gonna do like 5, and you can feel, when it's a personal version, I can feel that I'm working my core. There I am. Good. Now I want you to focus. So bring your arms up, right? And I want you to focus on kind of like this rolling motion back, right? And I don't want you to focus on your stomach, and just let it take you back. And then focus on this punching motion forward and let it bring you up. So I'm pulling, and the pulling motion is bringing me back. And then I'm pushing, and the pushing motion is lifting me up. And you should feel no abs, guys. You should feel no focus on the midsection at all. it's like a really push, pull, pull, push, pull, push, right? Yeah. And when you start to feel your abs, just stop and rest. Okay, stop and rest. It's not supposed to be an ab workout. It's supposed to be some movement outside yourself brought you down and brought you up. If you watch me guys in class, this is how I go down and get up all the time. I never go through my muscles. I try to save my muscles. That's why I guess the more and more you go on, you get fatter and fatter and fatter in system. You use less muscle. You just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, you did it, right? You did it. Just you have some ideas now, right? Okay, now try do it with one arm. So I'm here, so it's like I pull back and I punch up just with one arm, right? And you can play. Maybe one arm can bring you back, the other arm can bring you up. One arm pulls you back, one arm pushes you up. You don't have to think of punching, just pull and push and try to see how that works. That's it. So pull, you go back, not from the stomach, and push up and lifts you. Awesome, guys. Lie down flat on your back again. So now lie down there, just lie down. Now, the moment you hear like some sound, like snapping of my fingers or clapping, I want you to sit up, okay? Like as fast and as quick as you can when you hear that sound, okay? So just relax. Any sharp sound comes to your ears, I want you to pop up. That's it. And then, oh, it's nothing, lie down. So imagine yourself at home at night. You're sleeping, the house is sleeping, everybody's sleeping at home. All of a sudden you hear something at the front door. Pop, you pop up usually. Yeah, you pop up to listen. You didn't pop up, nobody popped up and said, well, I have to flex my abs. And you just popped up because you heard something. Right. And it's, like try to see, and then you realize it's nothing, and then you lie down. You see how you didn't think about abs now. You heard something and it alerted you. Right? Now, try to imagine for a second. So you lie there and you smell something, some sort of smoke or something, gas of something. Sit up right away to smell better. Sit up with your nose. Like I can't do a smell sound. It's like you smelled something, right? And then lie down. It's nothing. Like see how you can rise your body even by what you smell. If it's the smell is not good, you pop up right away. You're like, what is this? Okay, very good, guys. Lie down flat on your back. Put your feet together. Put your feet together. Inhale, lift up your feet like the way you always do through the muscles. Put your feet, do five leg raises. This is you know, you feel the muscles, back, stomach, leg muscles, and you're doing leg raises, right? Very good. Bring your knees to your chest. Bring your knees to your chest. Yeah, both knees, okay? Now, push your heels straight forward in front of you and pop yourself up. Good. Okay. And now your knees to your chest, and it pushes you back. So it pushes you forward, pulls you back, pushes you up, bumps you back. So now it's exactly what your arms did, but with your legs. So you shouldn't feel abs. It's just the weight of the legs bumping you back. No, Alex, watch me for a sec. Watch. Yeah, that's different. Guys, stop for a sec. Don't, the rocking motion is different, okay? It's like, look, my knees, like they hit my chest, boom, and they send me back. And then my heels push me up. There, it's not just like a rocking motion, right? This goes like right into my body, boom, right? So it should hit you. Yeah, the knees should like almost hit your chest back. Yeah, and then straighten and you come up. So very little wasted energy. This is you're working with the weight of your legs to move your body. So first you did your arms, now you do your legs, and the legs are heavier and stronger, so they can move you even easier. That's it. Yeah, you can do one leg at a, you could do one leg, you know. Or two legs, the elbows, and then the legs, elbows, and the legs. Like, work with both to do these things, play with it. And really, you should be able to do it for a long time because it's not a lot of muscles. It's really just movement. Awesome, guys. Good. Stand up. Opa. Awesome. Good. Okay. Hope you guys can see me good, huh? Yeah, not too bad, I guess. So now stay straight, right? Nice and straight, comfortable. Okay. And what I want you to do is turn your head, and I'm going to look, like for me, I have a picture back here. I'm going to turn, I'm going to look at the picture, and then I'm going to walk towards the picture. Right. And when I get here, I'm going to turn and I'm going to look again now at the camera, and I'm going to walk. So before I go somewhere, I turn, I look at it, and then I walk towards it. So look at something in the room, it doesn't matter what it is, and then walk towards it. And that your eyesight should pull you towards it. It's like you see something and you go right away towards it, right? You like, you know, like a dog, it sees something, it looks, and it goes right away towards that thing. At least the good ones. In other words, your eyesight pulled you towards that thing. Awesome, guys. Okay, so an interesting thing I do with my breathing, when I go outside and I do my outdoor training for myself, we usually count our breaths in system a lot: 5 in, 5 out, 6 in, 6 out, 7 out. So, but when I go outside, I try not to count too much. And what I do is I pick objects. So I say, from this tree to this tree, I'll breathe in. From this car to that car, I breathe out. From this bush to that tree, I breathe in. From that car to that bush, I hold my breath. Like I pick objects, not because, so when I'm counting my breaths, like 5 in, 5 out, that's inside me. That's my version. When I'm outside, when I'm looking at a car to that car, so let's say I go to the store and I park my car in a parking lot. I say to myself, okay, from that car to that car, I'm going to hold my breath. And then from that tree to that car, I'm going to breathe in.
I
And
do it that way already. Yeah.
yes, this is that,
Right.
because now what happens is breathing is external. It's an external thing. Okay, it's external thing. So you could say this for lots of things. Like if you go to church and you say a prayer, you know, for yourself or for some, you know, good things. But then if you know somebody else is not doing well or is having a hard time, you say a prayer for them. So you didn't just for yourself, you say for other people too. So you're breathing for yourself when you count numbers. When you count objects and use them as reference points, you're breathing for other people, which is very interesting. Okay. It's an interesting idea because it's quite powerful. I learned more like that than when I counted numbers. Does that make sense, guys? It's very interesting. Like if you ask a person, sometimes it's easier to do things for other people than it is for yourself. Some things, you know, it's easier to do it that way. So pick objects, and when you're looking at an object, you have to look. So the looking makes it external. So I look towards the picture and I walk towards it. But if I close my eyes, it becomes internal. If I walk with my eyes closed, now I'm thinking about myself. If I walk with my eyes open, it's like the other world. Makes sense? It's very important for you to see, right? Now, the same idea, you can study punches, okay? So you pick a spot, like I don't know, like a, trying to see if I give you, here's like a wall I have here. Yeah, there. I have like a little nail mark I have here. Don't ask me why. And I touch it, right? So I'm looking at it and I'm touching it. I come back. I look at that, like I can't see it, but I'm looking at it and I'm touching it. Now, if I go too hard, I'm going to put a hole in this wall and my wife will be angry with me. So I don't want to do that. Okay. I want to get to this point, and you see how I lift my hand, I go and I come back. But it's external. I'm not thinking about, I'm not like, thinking about myself punching. I'm measuring distance, accuracy, focus, right? But it's external. I need to get to that, boom. I need to get to that, boom, right? So, and keep doing that. Pick spots on the wall or in the bag. You can use the bag there, yeah. Pierre, if you can hit the bag, okay? You can hit it. But the idea here is you shouldn't feel your body. You shouldn't feel yourself like, you shouldn't have like desires to, for you, it's just hitting. Yeah, you hit external. You didn't allow the internal to affect. You didn't allow your mind to start to be. As if you start hitting the bag with emotions, you'll see how it changes everything, right? So reach and touch the bag very fast, really hard, but don't be emotionally connected to it. Yeah, don't have anger or love or something for this thing. Just do the action normally. Guys, stop for a sec. Just stop, because I want to explain. Because Pierre has a bag there. This is a really good tool, because this is a big idea. How many of you think that people eat food from emotions? How many of you feel that? It's quite true, right? We eat because we feel we're upset or we're so happy or whatever. It's usually emotional eaters. It's not good. There's lots of emotional fighters. It's just not as good. You should be able to throw your punches without any kind of emotions for you. So there's nothing wrong with hitting the bag as long as you're aware of what's happening to your body. Most people hit it and they're destroying their joints because their emotions cover the pain. Okay. How many of you have been in a fight where you didn't feel the hits coming on top of you? Have you ever had that feeling? There are times where I've been so mad in a fight and just beating people, and they were hitting me back, but I didn't feel it. I felt it the next day. The bruises appeared. I was like, oh shit, guy got me over here. But I didn't feel it because the anger covered me. And that's like a part of our evolution. So we don't feel pain. So we have to teach ourselves to feel these things, because so if we have emotions, it blocks this pain. So what you want right now, you can throw your punches, but should be no emotional. You should be able, you should be able to have a conversation right away about anything. Oh, something nice. So throw your punches, even throw your kicks, but they shouldn't be emotionally connected to anything. Okay. Does that make sense, Pierre? Does that help you? So you can pow away at a bag as long as you don't destroy your body and that you're calm. And if not, you'll know, because you'll feel like punching people after. That's how you know what your emotions do. You walk around, you're saying, who can I punch? You look for people to punch. Don't do that. That's no good. Jaker, watch. Jake, just yeah, don't even lift your arms up. Oh, for you, there's nothing, that wall's not punching back, I promise you. No, maybe, but the old Rambo scene where the guy's eyes came up. Okay, guys, watch me for a second. Not bad. You got it. But there's a funny story about this. I used to have a friend of mine. He was doing a lot of boxing, right? And he started out of nowhere. I don't know. He wasn't really into this, but somehow he got this idea of boxing. And then slowly over the next 2-3 months, every time I would see this, go to, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? He was punching me like just the friendly punches. Like, why are you punching me? It's like, I look at the guy. He goes, I don't know. I'm not punching. I don't know. I'm just having fun with you. And he did the same thing to his girlfriend. He would see her as, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? She's like, why are you punching me? And his body was so used to the punches. He was doing it even when he was unaware. He was unaware of throwing his punches. This is bad. Okay. You should be aware of these things, right? And when you do something so much, you just constantly do it. You have no idea what you're doing. It's a bad thing, right? So punches and kicks are offensive idea, right? Or our offensive idea. And all I want you to do is when you decide to use your fists or your kicks, whatever you decide to do, that you check in with your head and your body and see how they felt. If I'm angry when I punch, you can see the tension in my arm. If I have like a bad thought in my head, I can see the tension in my arm. As a teacher, when I'm watching people training, especially when I say, okay, light sparring, you see every time, okay, guys, some light sparring. Right away, you see people, they have some tension, right? You have to get rid of this. When somebody says sparring, you should be like, yeah, perfect, no problem. And just kind of, and a good way to do this is while you're training with somebody, you have to have a conversation of some sort, right? Don't talk about vaccinations. Just talk about anything else but that, because too many opinions about those things. Everybody gets too emotionally angry. And if you can hold a conversation, you'll see it's hard for you to get mad because you can hear it in your voice when you're tense. I've seen people, guys, bash away at each other, having a beautiful conversation about all kinds of topics. Okay. And you can see when they get to a topic that's sensitive, you'll see the tension just from the topic. Okay. So my big thing is if you can fight and have a conversation, that means emotionally you're disconnected from this, right? You're really disconnected from this. And it's really good because that means you can make a good decision, because the emotions are what kill good decisions. You're too emotionally involved in decisions, right? So if you have a bag like Pierre has, it's great training, but you have to be grounded in understanding tensions in your body and changes in your mind when you start to kind of bang away hard at it, right? You start to think like, oh, da, 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 and you start playing the Rocky theme, and you start like Jake, you start to skip, and you start to imagine zombie Torontonians popping out of the woodwork and you're punching them out. Don't do that, please. Or parking authority guys, yeah, don't do that. So if you follow all the stuff I showed you about seeing outside yourself and thinking of things as pushing and pulling, but outside of yourself, not inside yourself, it's very easy to start to punch as an offensive weapon without having an emotional connection to it. Because when we do push-ups, you realize that when you get tense is because you're emotionally connected. You're angry or you're tired or you're stressed, and you're just continue to do push-ups where you should do push-ups and stay relaxed. Okay, does that make sense, guys? Is that kind of edging it? The idea here is it's written long time ago in history where they talked about who wins the race, the tortoise or the hare. The tortoise, the turtle went slow and steady, and most people approach something fast because they feel it's going to get a bigger result. But slow and steady, if you do one really good push-up or two really good push-ups without tension and without emotional connection, just strictly, you'll see how fast you'll grow. You'll get much stronger than if you try to hurry. A story to highlight my point. Back in 1911, somewhere there was two groups that wanted to go to the South Pole. They wanted to be the first person to make it to the South Pole, and two different explorers did the same journey. Okay, they did the exact same journey. One group of explorers did 15 kilometers, 15 miles every day, no matter what, sun or shine. Okay. The other explorer decided to, when the weather was good, to go as far as he could, and when the weather was bad, to rest. Okay. The person that did 15 kilometers every day, no matter what, was the one that reached it and was the one that got home. The guy that did the other way never got home and never reached the thing. That's the truth. And that story highlights, if it worked for explorer going to the South Pole, it's going to work for you for martial arts. Take a slow and steady approach every day. Train a little bit.
Slowly but
Train a
surely.
little bit. Sorry?
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely will get you there much faster than you think. It's not slow. What it does is creates a good mood. Too many people, when they train fast, they wreck their mood. That's the problem. And then they don't like martial arts. They hate it. That's the problem. They something upsets them about it. Slow and steady will get you to where you go, right? And this way that I'm showing you, this external version of it is a way that most martial artists go away from it because they're scared that they're going to get angry. They're scared they're going to have ego. They're scared they're going to get, but there's nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just your approach. There's absolutely nothing wrong with these things. Nothing. It just you. I guess maybe too many people show them when they're scared or when they're angry, right? Right? You don't have to wait till you're old to say your opinion, right? You can say it when you're young too, right? You don't have to be. You're closer to death before you don't care, right? You can say your opinion now. It means a lot to me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the perspective, guys. I want to. It's a difficult topic, but I think you all can agree that people are motivated two ways: internal and external. And we didn't study the external enough. Okay, we need to study this a little bit more to understand how to grow yourself. Okay, how to grow as a person, as a martial artist. Okay, I'll post the video and I will see you guys next Wednesday. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's the best way of doing it. And maybe I can give you guys a little bit of plan for August, and then some homework to do. And then we can go from there and set up something for September. Okay.
All right, cool.
All right.
Nice. Great
Thank you, guys.
vacation.
Any question, guys? Anything for me? Anything you like? I'm around, so you guys can always email me if you
Yeah.
ever need anything. But otherwise, I'll see you. Now
Next
is a
Wednesday.
great time. Yeah, now is a great time, guys. If you can, this weekend, if you think of something you'd like to cover or a topic you'd like me to cover, I'll just get it in September and October. So please share with me. Otherwise, I'll put together a general curriculum and we can go from there. But we're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper with the group. So I hope you guys can join along in September, and we'll grow something quite special together. Okay, guys.
Nice. So good.
Thank you so much. Have a
So
good
much.
Wednesday, everybody.
Thank
you,
Have a good
Manny.
Wednesday. Bye, everybody.
Good weekend.
Yeah.
You
Have a
too.
good
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, man.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Jake. Bye, Miro.
Bye.